HD. ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight. This segment of the news is brought to you by BTC, powered by Lime.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition. I'm Candino Knowles. Thanks for joining us this Sunday. Well, big investments for Bimini getting even bigger as the government approves a multi-million-dollar proposal for that island. The announcement came from Prime Minister Perry Christie this weekend as the Bimini Superfast ferry arrived on the island with hundreds of tourists. Julian Reed is on the story.
Resorts World has been given the go-ahead for a $150 million expansion to their investment in Bimini. On Saturday, Prime Minister Perry Christie gave details of the deal, which will take place over 3 years.
2 luxury, low-density hotels with a total of 600 rooms and numerous added amenities. Expanded casino. Creation of some 1,000 jobs. Improvements to historical sites and creation of museums.
Earlier, hundreds of excited passengers set foot on Bimini as the Bimini Superfast ferry arrived from Miami. Resorts World will build a new jetty and terminal before the end of the year to accommodate those tourists. Prime Minister Christie said that very special care is being taken to preserve Bimini's pristine environment.
All of our efforts are driven by a commitment to ensuring we put maximum effort in protecting the environment of these areas that are being developed. And a very clear commitment. I want my grandchildren and their children to be able to taste the flavor of the Bahamas in the same way and to the same extent that I have been able to do so.
But as foreign investors increasingly find Bimini attractive, the Prime Minister says most important is the welfare of the people of Bimini.
There must be reservation for the future interests of young Biminites who, as a result of this investment, will have access to the capital, to marry with their ideas and opportunities, so they too can be more than employees, but owners and entrepreneurs.
Julian Reed, ZNS Network News.
Now to some shocking news. Detectives started the day off investigating another gruesome murder here in the capital. Authorities learned around 5:15 this morning about a disturbance on Jackfish Street off Carmichael Road. A 52-year-old male resident of Allen Drive, also off Carmichael Road, is detained in hospital under police guard in connection with the incident. Officer in charge of the Central Detective Unit, Superintendent Paul Roll, explains.
Upon arrival, they met a male suffering from multiple stab wounds about the body at one of the residents just off Jackfish Drive. Investigation led us to provide information where the person who was suffering from the multiple stab injury, he was involved in a verbal argument with a male which escalated into physical, where in the process he was stabbed, and the second male was also stabbed, we believe, in this incident. EMS responded to that scene where they examined the male that we found at this residence. He had succumbed to his injuries. While on that scene, we received reports of a traffic accident on the Carmichael Road West in the vicinity of the clinic, just past the Carmichael Road police station. Officers responded to that scene, where upon arrival they met a male driver of one of the vehicles who was responsible for the accident. He was suffering from multiple stab wounds about his body. Based on information received from that scene, we took that male into custody. He is presently at hospital now being treated by doctor after being transported by EMS. We believe that both of these incidents, as it stands right now, are related in nature.
Investigations also continuing today into the death of that local businessman and his employee who were both killed outside the Tip Top Bar on Wolf Road early Saturday morning. Police say the double murder unfolded around 4 o'clock yesterday as both men, ages 59 and 41 years old, were reportedly getting into a blue Kia Optima when they were approached by 2 armed men. The victims, we are told, attempted to flee in the vehicle. However, one of the men fired a gunshot which struck and killed the 59-year-old driver, who sustained an injury near his chest. He was pronounced dead at the scene. The second victim reportedly got out of the vehicle, attempted to run, and was subsequently shot in the stomach by the second suspect. Central Detective Unit Chief Superintendent Paul Rowe telling ZNS News that the victim was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. There's no official identification on either victim. Police are still appealing to anyone who might have any information to please come forward. Well, police conducting Operation Restoration yesterday, which resulted in the arrest of 20 men across New Providence. Police say the men were arrested for a number of crimes, including armed robbery, housebreaking, outstanding criminal warrants, disorderly behavior, and unlawful possession. The operation targeted Balls Alley, Kemp Road, White's Addition, and Hospital and Rupert Dean lanes, which police say are frequented by prolific offenders. Well, police are searching for the person or people responsible for shooting a 17-year-old boy last night. Reports are that around 11:10, the victim was on Fleming Street off Blue Hill Road when he was allegedly shot in the upper body. He was taken to hospital where his condition is presently unknown. Police are actively investigating and are appealing to members of the public who may have any information that can assist them in locating the suspect or suspects to contact them anonymously. And police over in Exuma are searching for 2 men who reportedly entered a home in Tar Bay Stretch around 11:40 this past Friday night, where they reportedly tied up the occupants and robbed them of jewelry, electronics, and cash. Reports say one of the men, who is allegedly armed with a handgun, entered the residence off Queens Highway and robbed the occupants of 2 Rolex watches, an iPhone, iPad, and cash. Police are actively investigating and are once again appealing to members of the public who may have information to come forward. Meantime, the Royal Bahamas Defense Force apprehended a Bahamian man last evening after he was reportedly found transporting 29 bales of suspected marijuana in New Providence valued at $132,000. While concluding a search and rescue exercise, Marines from the Harbor Patrol Unit reportedly observed a suspicious go-fast vessel on the northeastern side of Paradise Island, about 500 meters off Cabbage Beach. Upon further investigation, Defense Force Marines observed the man in a 18-foot open-hull vessel. A search of that vessel uncovered the suspected drugs in 2 large coolers. The man was also allegedly in possession of $2,400. The contraband, cash, and the suspect were turned over to the police for further investigation. Well, registration with the National Training Agency begins tomorrow between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. and will take place at the NTA office on Gladstone Road and Munnings Drives. Registration will run until Friday, July 26th, and is open to recent graduates up to the age of 25. For identification purposes, interested persons should bring Bahamian passports, voters' cards, and national insurance cards. Well, straight ahead, we'll hear from senior government officials on that anti-Bahamas protest in Miami on Friday. We've got that story and more in a moment.